Oh my God, that's completely out of touch. And insult the intelligence of the American people and the experience.
Well, once inside the courtroom, Mangione entered wearing an orange prison jumpsuit. His collar was ruffled. He was shackled by the hands and at his feet. And he sat down at the table. He had a piece of paper with him that he unwrapped that was kind of crinkled. Now, he didn't speak much inside the courtroom, despite what his outburst outside of it. He only confirmed to the judge that, yes, he understood that he had a right to contest these charges. Now, his lawyer did most of the speaking. He said that they would fight extradition. He also tried to get bail for Mangione, saying that some of the evidence that was found on him, including the mask, could possibly be explained, saying maybe it was about COVID, some of the foreign currency. His attorney suggested it could possibly have been fake, and he asked the judge to release him on an electronic monitoring bracelet. Now, prosecutors opposed that, running through the litany of evidence that they obtained, including ammunition and a silencer. Wolf?
So, Kara, what happens next for Mangione?
So the judge set out a schedule here, giving Mangione 14 days to file briefs related to this extradition issue. He's also said that prosecutors have 30 days to submit what is known as a governor's warrant. And the district attorney in Manhattan, Alvin Bragg, said that he will seek that warrant, and New York Governor Kathy Hochul said she will sign that warrant. So those papers will all come back to court. The judge would then likely schedule another hearing in this case, all as part of this effort to get Mangione back to New York to face these murder charges. Well,
all right, Kara Scannell reporting for us. Kara, thank you very much. Our legal and law enforcement experts are standing by. They're joining us right now. John Miller, what do you make of Mangione's attorney saying he hasn't seen any evidence that his client is the shooter and that his client will plead not guilty to the Pennsylvania charges?
I think, as my two colleagues both know, he's telling the absolute truth, because he showed up basically for a routine court appearance and has not received any of the discovery material, which would include the evidence that they've gathered. So while he's saying he hasn't seen any, he knows better than to suggest there isn't any. He just hasn't seen it.
Laura Coates, from what we've heard from Mangione's attorney, what's your sense of how he will defend this case?
Well, certainly you would expect a defense attorney to try to begin their case in the court of public opinion, one in which the court of public opinion has weighed in very strongly on this matter, that probably is making prosecutors a little bit weary of what a voir dire and jury selection would look like, given the backlash towards the actual victim of this crime. And so they're going to have to go through an investigation process now. The questions really start to begin. The motive, building the case, figuring out what evidentiary details, the minutiae they're going to need. But fundamentally, he does have a presumption of innocence. But there is, seemingly at this point in time, a lot of evidence to suggest that there is more than probable cause to have made this arrest, that this is the person who is not only a person of interest, but the sole person of interest in this matter so far. And now the case for the prosecution has to be building that even further with an eye towards putting him before the court where the crime occurred, and that is extraditing to New York.